Hi, Isaac. This is Judy Berman. I am setting up a video of interview questions and answers. And I'm sorry about the technical difficulties we had, but that's the way it is right now. So, um, the way I got involved in Fountain House is that my son, Gerald, who's 37, um, has a diagnosis and he is a member of Fountain House. He's at Fountain House 10 years. So, uh, because he loves it and he was doing so well, I got my therapist and my psychiatrist to help me apply with the psychoval and the psychosocial. And I, with the encouragement as well of my son, who's on the membership committee and also in the Welcome Center, I um, became a member of Fountain House back in 2019, which is almost 6 years ago. And I've never regretted it because it's wonderful. It helps me a lot. And by the way, I am mostly virtual because I have ambulatory limitations. I am physically limited. I have some hearing problems and some vision problems, as well as ambulatory problems and pain and a low immune system. The fact that I'm able to access everything virtually is phenomenal. And so the artists that I'm inspired by is Andy Warhol and Peter Max. And the reason why I'm inspired by them is because of the pop art and the beautiful, very lively um, images. Peter Max, I found very striking with the very lavish digital Marilyn Monroe with the repetitions and the digital theatrical aspect of it and the beautiful neon colors, the beautiful neon greens and neon pinks. It's lovely. Peter Max was inspired also because of the wonderful animated uh, graphic digital artwork. His colors, his abstract, his designs, his vividness. He did the album cover for Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. That was outstanding. So the way that my work has evolved, um, being a member of Fountain House, I have been guided by our studio director Karen Gormandy with the fact that I'm accommodated with the digital hybrid Zoom classes and contact. I'm able to participate in Technique Tuesday and in art history and in artist talk. In Technique Tuesday, I've done a lot of uh, work with the guidance of Karen Gormandy to be able to do uh, the monochrome and the portraits and the landscapes and the shadows and shading and the the depth and perspective. And it's there's a lot I learned because I'm self-taught, so this is a wonderful way to learn, and it's also non-critical. People don't leave feeling uh, destroyed. No one's made to feel diminished or demeaned. Everyone's encouraged, and that this is the way it should be. It's a very healthy environment. In art history, we have M.J. Dixon, and I learned a lot of wonderful things about art and the different periods and the different artists. And in Artist Talk on Friday, we have wonderful participation for artists to show the artwork, the projects that they're working on, and to be able to um, give feedback to each other. And it's always done in a constructive, healthy, positive way. So this has helped my work to evolve because I I grow and I feel encouraged and I feel that this has helped me and been a calling for me. I have art in my family. My mother is 92. She was hospitalized by Rockland County State Hospital before I was conceived. So back in um, early 1950s. And um, she was an artist before that, and she had shock treatments, and she just wasn't able to continue with her art afterwards. She just didn't. She had like some damage to her creativity, and it was dulled. And my father is a refugee from World War II and a survivor. And so I started uh, my coming of age with a lot of exposure to um, stress, traumatic, post traumatic stress, and trauma, and anxiety, and some depression. And, then President Kennedy was assassinated on my father's birthday, November 22nd, so when I was in grade school. And then Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy, and so I've seen a lot, and of course, in the past few years with the shootings of Sandy Hook and everything, it's been a a a very sobering time for everybody. Of course, 9/11 also, and there seems to be a detachment from humanity. So my art is a way for me to um, retreat and um, recreate the innocence and security and safety that I felt as a child, the innocence, the inner child, and the creativity in the sense of enclosure and safety. And so I hope that my art brings that to other people as well. That the people have experienced the feeling of joy from my art, the feeling of innocence and childhood and purity, and without the hate and the violence and the negativity. So, as far as cats, I've always had cats, and I loved the idea of small works with the empowered cats, empowered cats of justice and democracy and freedom. And I had 15 different cats. And I love the fact that cats have a feeling of independence and they're so beautiful. They're such aesthetic creatures. And yet, when I can make them into humorous characters in my cartoon drawings, and I have web pages on my website, you know, uh, a fantasy cat clubhouse with drawings of, what if the cats had their own clubhouse, just like we see the Hollywood Clubhouse on Zoom and the Harlem Clubhouse on Zoom and the Bronx Clubhouse on Zoom. So we could have a cat clubhouse on Zoom and have little Zoom windows with all cats. And I drew that. I drew, that we have the green doors and we have the home and garden, we have the welcome center, we have the tours, we have the director wearing black saying, hello, friends, wash your hands. And we have the um, the standards, the work order day, and the different units with the cats, and the cats doing all the fun things. What do cats do? They work on the paper, but they also go in the box, and I have that humor. Um, so then I have my own cartoon cat, my advocate, and I have cat mom. So I made cartoons like that, and it was in our zine. And then in Biff Bam Pow, um, we had to call for work to um, have um, like classic cartoons. So I thought of vintage cartoons. The Joker is a personality like Batman, and you have Detective Dick Tracy, one of the first detectives, and then you have also Felix the cat. So it's a beautiful cat, and so I did that, and I have the entries with my artwork. I do the animal art. I've done like online art shows and art shows with cats and animals. I have that in my website. I have a page in my website also with my son Mark's art because I feel, as age 27, he exceeds me in art exponentially. He's such attention to detail and he uses uh, like really fine point detail on his pencils and pens and markers and paint and paint brushes, and he's a lot more diversified than me, and his cartoons are much more sophisticated and much more detail level. um, I use acrylic but not paint. I use markers. I don't wash paint brushes. I'm low maintenance. I use acrylic markers on um, either paper or canvas. And I love the Winsor Newton markers. I love the neon markers, the glittery markers, the metallic markers. Um, I also use digital because I have an iPad with Procreate, and Procreate is able to um, make you think really like you could select digitally what you want to do as if you were doing physical painting, but you pick out your textures, you pick out your brushes, you pick out your colors. You could have watercolor, you could have oil color, you could have dry brush, and this is all very mental and intentional in Procreate, and I've learned so much doing that. And I have beautiful artwork that I've done digitally with that. So also, I did toys. I did the American Girl doll, and I did a doll that was, you know, painting of dolls and a painting of a doll that was a child that looked like a little adult with a little red coat. And these figures are not so much from my childhood, but from my imagination. And it's things that I do because I feel love doing it, and I cherish the joy and happiness and innocence that I feel in the creativity that captures the childhood. where the feeling of innocence and peace lies before we know about hate and danger and wars and things like that, to try and capture that breath of innocence for as long as we can cherish it and enjoy the beauty, the joy, the playfulness, and the creativity of it. So, anyway, um, I hope I've made a wonderful interview, and I always feel free to visit me and talk to me and contact me with questions. I have my website, uh, sites.google.com/view/Judy Swims 912. I have my Instagram @J Michelle Berman, JMISCHELLBERMAN. I have my email address, judyswims912 @gmail.com. I have my cell phone, 347-703-1150. And I have my own merchandise website with TeePublic, where I put beloved, cherished art pieces that people can have as hats, shirts, hoodies, tote bags, magnets, stickers, different clothing items, child clothing items as well. And for instance, I'm wearing a beautiful shirt. You can see it even though I have that virtual background. I drew a picture of my cat, and then my cat was looking at the picture, so I had to take a picture of my cat looking at the picture I did of him, and I said, my art, my cat Smokey is my art critic, and he approves of my art. So I made that into a shirt. And if you want to see my stuff, it's at Judy Originals in TeePublic. You just go to TeePublic and search JUDYORIGINALZ, Judy Originals. Thank you so very much, and hope to talk to you again soon. I hope this was a good interview and a good video. Thank you.